we all have to segregate the garbage at home before it is handed over to the BBMP garbage collector. The waste has to be segregated into three types: wet waste, dry waste and rejected waste. The wet waste means kitchen waste, which can include vegetables, fruit peels, leftover foods, eggshells, chicken, tea bags, coffee grains, puja flowers, etc. Dry waste includes plastic covers, bottles, boxes, coconut shells, batteries, bulbs, etc. And reject waste includes diapers, sanitary napkins, razors, blades, syringes, etc.
When animals are slowly going extinct and people are dying slowly, what hasn't reduced is the waste that we create. Bengaluru, a metropolitan city that generates around 5,000 metric tons of municipal solid waste at an average of 0.5 kgs per day, with a population of about 13.1 million. There are 150 dry waste collection centers in the city, which can only handle 1 ton of waste on an average. According to BBMP, since 2017, 9 decentralized biogas units have not been functional. Experts have said that in the last decade, garbage management has not kept pace with the growth of the city. So, what exactly is the issue? Why is Bengaluru facing a crisis with zero solutions? Divya Tiwari, a member of the Solid Waste Management Roundtable in Bengaluru, explains to us why has the waste management system of the city been facing a severe crisis.
So Bangalore has been going through waste crisis for many years, along with the rest of the country. The problem is not unique to Bangalore. Bangalore, we see this more because the landfills which are around the city are full. They were full like almost 2 decades ago. The city administration has not been able to find new landfills. They've been using some old quarries, stone quarries, to put this waste in.
The city is facing serious problems due to existing disposal practices of generated waste, incurring excessive costs due to the lack of poor infrastructural facilities. In addition to this, the open dumping in the expanding zone of the city poses serious problems due to the structures being constructed on old dumps, in addition to the groundwater quality. Here is what residents of various areas in Bengaluru have to say about the open dumping of waste in the city.
रात को तो सब लोग आके इधर डाल लेते हैं, सुबह कभी एक दिन गाड़ी आता है, एक दिन नहीं आता है. सो बीबीएमपी का थोड़ा बहुत लापरवाही है करके भी बोल सकते हैं.
Mosquitoes are also a big concern for those living in these older parts of the city.
Most of the waste that is accumulated on the streets is not segregated. Rather, it is sent to landfills, which can bring about several issues amongst humans and within the environment.
And as I said, the landfills are overflowing. So to maintain the height, the waste is burned. It is sometimes deliberately burned. Sometimes it gets lit on its own because it contains methane, which gets generated from decomposing food waste there. And it is highly flammable. The gas is highly flammable, which impact long-term productive systems, neurological diseases, development issues in children. So these are some of the implications whenever waste is burnt.
Additionally, Bengaluru is a hub to several students who come from different parts of the country to pursue their higher education. To understand the situation, we asked a few students from Christ deemed to be university to explain to us how have they faced an issue with the existing waste disposal system in Bengaluru.
So Bangalore is like a very hectic city where a lot of people are cramped up in apartments. And waste disposal is really difficult because one, they do have sorted out the weekdays. BBMP has Wednesdays and Saturdays, the truck picking up the dry waste, and on the other weekdays it's like wet waste. But the problem here is that the vans come on their own time. So as students, when we leave for college at 9 o'clock or say let's say 10 o'clock also, the truck might not have come even then. So then we have to wait till we get a holiday or something, so that we can wait the whole day because we don't know when the truck is coming. And another issue is there's no external bins or anything where we can put any of these garbage.
As a student, especially as the one who lives in a flat, waste disposal has always been an issue with me because I leave to college very early in the morning, so there is no one to take away the waste, and there is no proper public bins at least 1 to 2 kilometer radius anywhere where the place I live. So it's very difficult to at least at the night to go and dispose it somewhere. So it gets accumulated in front of my building and it starts smelling. So the kind of routine, even the waste the people follow in my area is very bad. So I think waste disposal has always been a headache for me.
What can be done to reduce the number of landfills and slowly turn the city sustainable can be learned through the waste management system followed in HSR Layout. This was implemented with the help of HSR Citizen Forum, a volunteering organization that strove to segregate and dispose of the waste in the layout in an effective manner so as to reduce the amount of waste going to the landfills.
Solid waste management started with the segregation. Segregation is very, very important. Unless the waste is segregated into 3 types: wet waste, dry waste and reject waste, it is next to impossible to recycle them and also to use them properly. With that reason, the volunteers of HSR Citizen Forum, they went house to house. Each and every house and the commercial establishments were covered. They were shown the demonstration of the proper way of segregation of waste. So they have been told all that, and generally they have responded over a period of time, and also in coordination with BBMP and the contractor who is allotted this area. So we are closely, HSR Citizen Forum is closely associated with them, and what we do is we monitor the waste collection in HSR. Another problem of solid waste management is dumping on the open sites and open areas. That is called black spots. And the black spots are generated in HSR Layout. So we in association, Citizen Forum, in association with health inspector and all the supervisory staff of the contractor, we identify the black spots and give them the picture, and then ensure that the black spot is cancelled in a systematic way by ensuring that the waste is removed.
ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ನಾಗರಿಕರೇ, ಇದು ಬಿಬಿಎಂಪಿಯ ಪ್ರಕಟಣೆ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 6 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 6 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬುಧವಾರ ಸೋಮವಾರ ಡ್ರೈ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ವೆಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟರಿ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ 3 ನಾವು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 6ರಿಂದ.
We are segregating the wet waste separately and dry waste separately. Both are being collected individually, separately, so that these two things don't get mixed.
Although proper segregation is the best possible solution to this crisis, several areas in the city do not carry out the process efficiently. Nevertheless, the community at HSR has become the first to separate the waste into several categories, moving past the traditional ways of waste management. We spoke to Mr. Kumar, head of the Waste Segregation Unit at the HSR Layout, to understand how the waste is segregated by the community.
Format all categories of plastic, metal, pet bottle, milk pouches, low value plastic, high value plastic, thermocol, cocoa shells, everything will come here, and 2 conveyor belts they are using, and they are segregating the material individually. The first level segregation. Second level segregation, after plastic material comes, they will divide it to 7 to 8 category in the plastic material. Milk pot separate, pet bottle, LED, STPE, PP, PET, So all the categories separate. And again, LVP and MLP and RDF, they'll segregate and they'll send to recycling. Right now, we are not encouraging any middle persons. We are sending directly recyclers. For example, paper material we are sending to ITC, Kawai Milka for the classmate notebooks and other initiatives. Again, plastic materials we are sending to recyclers. LVP, what you call low value plastic, it will not recyclable. That material we are sending to cement factory for the burning process.
According to a study by the University of Agricultural Sciences, 20% of the prepared food in the country is wasted, especially due to a rise in functions in urban areas. With the country standing at the 107th position out of 121 countries in the Global Health Index, this becomes a growing issue. Rohit Chaudhary from the Regionate Private Limited, a company partnered with the BBMP, explains to us how the food waste is processed after it reaches their unit.
This is the pre-processing unit where we crush the waste and that is dewatered. So basically it becomes a shredded mass, and typically kitchen waste, when we have say 100 kgs of kitchen waste going into this pre-processing unit, typically around 50% is generally water. So we shred the mass and we dewater the entire mass. So that mass, which is basically the slurry, that is put into their biomethane generation plant. That slurry is in turn used, it gets into the biodigester, which will in turn generate the methane gas, and that can be further used for various purposes like cooking gas and stuff like that.
Asthma, ataxia, respiratory infections, and even skin cancer are the health implications of improper waste management and landfills, which equally pollutes our water, air, and soil. Each bin of unsegregated waste, each black spot, which we come across in our everyday life, is making this crisis bigger and much more dangerous. The National Environmental Policy of 2006 suggests measures for controlling various forms of environmental pollution, whilst laying emphasis on the need for collection and treatment systems for recycling wastes. It also devises measures for environmentally safer waste, thus being one of the first to bring a change. Despite this, in today's world, a number of laws of proper waste segregation and management still remain alien to us. According to the World Bank, over 90% of the waste dumped in open areas or burned in low-income countries disproportionately affects the poor and most vulnerable. Thus, the waste segregation of a country not only helps prevent diseases and environmental problems, but it reflects the development of the country. HSR is an example of how a community can make a difference by managing its own waste. How 2 simple bins and a bag can prevent the birth of hundreds of waste heaps and landfills, which will eventually cost thousands of human lives. Because if not now, then when?